Hey, family tech man, how's your spirit? Talk to me. Tell me something good. I got a good one for today. Today is the fifth principle. Um, this is the principle where you break through the wall of adversity. But this is what I tell you: you have to be 1,000% honest with yourself. You can't uh sugarcoat. You can't shortcut. None of that. See, because if you do any of that, you're not going to be able to heal. Like I tell you, this is a process. This is something that God gave me. And I can't take credit for it because, like I tell you, I'm intelligent, but I don't think I'm this smart. Where everything lines up from the first principle to the fifth principle to the three articles to the healer. All of it lines up where it coincides with the other. So you get your healing through this process. Like I said, I'm intelligent, but I don't think I'm that smart to be able to do that and have it lined up that way. And over 6 years, this is what's up, baby boy? I was gonna call you today too. I was seeing how you was doing because I ain't heard from you. How's everything going with you? Give me a call when we come off. But yeah, I went to the hospital yesterday. They did a thing with my heart. They put the I guess the dye or something in me. So now I just gotta wait for that and see what's going on. But my thigh been kind of hurting me lately. But yeah, today is the fifth principle, breaking through the wall of adversity. Um, like I tell you, you have to be 100% or 1,000%. I'm gonna read this for you right quick. Say aloud, I am 1,000% honest with myself. No more hiding, no more minimizing today. I face what I wrote on that paper, then sit in silence for 2 minutes. Let the weight of what you haven't faced rise up. It's yeah, I'm gonna be all right, inshallah. As long as the law is around, I'm gonna be all right. But like I said, sit for 2 minutes and let the things that are on that list rise up. And I guarantee you, man, you're gonna start to look at life different. You're gonna see life different. No question, inshallah. And it's gonna be an awakening because the things that you thought that were so great, so it wound up really not being that deep. It's all in here. And see, one of the things that I say, and I really feel this way because of my life experiences. A lot of things we shouldn't let our children see because it becomes a part of their psyche. And if it's uh traumatic, it stays with them for a long time. And this is what this platform is about, helping them to let those things go because, like I said, 9 out of 10 times it's something minor. But we take a molehill and make it into a mountain because it's the unknown. Like I said, in life, there's no instruction to life. You have to go through your adversities to learn life, period. So now, what I want you to do is take out the paper from the fourth principle, the wall, or at the wall. Read each one slowly. See, because this is for you. This is your shortcomings, your adversities, your fears, pride, envy, jealousy, and all the isms and schisms that you want to let go out of your life, you know. And then as you reflect, fear of what? Shortcomings, what are they? Adversities, what is God trying to show me? Secret shame that only you and God know. This is going to be the toughest one because this is going to be the one that brings out so many different emotions from you because it's the past and it's traumatic. But once you go through it, you're going to realize how minute this thing was. Like I said, and this is one of the reasons why I said we should limit our children, even adults, because of some adults can't handle it. Seeing certain things, hearing certain things, because it plays on the psyche. Because what you have to understand, this world is the shaitan's world, the devil, and you can see the things that's going on right now in the government and around the world where he's doing his job. If we could do our job as good as he does his, we would be fantastic. Even a 1/100th of a percent. While we sleeping, he's doing push-ups. So the whole thing is this right here. We must be able to look at the things that we've gone through and it's been traumatic in our life, and figure out what it was that God was trying to show you at that time, what it is he's trying to show you now, and what I have to do to get these things out of my life. For each item, ask, what have I been pretending not to know about this? You got to ask yourself, what are you pretending not to know about the situation? Adversity, fears, shortcomings. Like one of my fears is I'm afraid of rats. And that came from elementary school. They used to show us the videos with back in the 70s where the rats was in the abandoned building and bite the children and eat each other. So that always been a phobia for me. And I know I can crush a rat, but it's just the psyche. You know, I'm not as fearful of them as I used to be because I have a better understanding. But every little thing plays a part in your life. And if you don't address it, it will be there till you die. What would I do today if I wasn't afraid? One of the things that I say that all of our children should be taught some form of self-defense so they can protect themselves. Everyone, and plus mental dynamics of teaching them how to reason and uh, speak and think before they speak in different situations, different conversations. What is the smallest crack in the wall I can make right now? Looking at the different adversities and the different things that you go look at it like, what can I do right now? You know, like I tell you, the first one is the past knowledge. You when you go through your what's, when's, where's, why's, how, and sometimes too, you're gonna cry. I promise you, because these are the things that affected you that you didn't know how to get over. Now you're facing them, and you're gonna see that they're not as tough as you really thought they were. And trust me, it works. The act physically stand up, take a paper or a symbolic object and tear it. Step over a line on the floor or push against a wall with your hand for 30 seconds. Say, I'm not going around it. I'm going through it. Meaning that you're going to take the responsibility in going through the wall of adversities to get you to the road of change. And see, only you know when you're being honest, when you're lying to yourself. So you can lie to people, but you can't lie to God and you can't lie to yourself. And if you can lie to yourself, you really have mental problems. What you have to understand, right, when facing traumas like this, these things been in your life for decades, years, months, however, and not knowing how to deal with them or being afraid to deal with them. Now you have a platform that you can deal with them with. You're able to come here where it's safe You know, like I said, the things that you write down, you don't ever have to show me. I'm just going to take you through the steps to get you to healing. And then, like I said, after we heal, we got to learn the lies from the truth. And a lot of the things that we have to learn, we can feel it in our hearts. You know, we feel it in our hearts. It's like when someone is lying or someone's telling the truth. And a lot of people I see, right? They think that being wealthy is successful. And that's not the truth. This is why God says not one rich person can go to heaven. Is no, he says a rich man going to heaven is like a camel going through an eye of a needle. Imagine that. You know how just you have to be wealthy or rich like that and still be able to go to paradise. Most are not because it's a greed, it's a pride, it's all kinds of things. Unless you are one of the ones that God has put here to help people and live right, most people are going to get captured. Like I always tell you, God says this, not me. Not one atom's weight of pride can enter the paradise. I got to say it again. Not one atom's weight of pride can enter the paradise. And what hides in pride? Jealousy, envy, hate, all kinds of isms and schisms. But it's up to you to do the right thing. No matter what no one else does, you got to continue to do the right thing because God is watching. If you start to act like them, you're going to get what they got coming, you know. And even though God says my mercy is greater than my wrath, you don't want to test that. I know I don't, and this is why I want to live the rest of my life right. I want to do the right thing so that we can heal. And like I said, I have a 30-year plan that we can come together and it's no stopping us. We have to come together. But the only thing is we'll never be able to come together until we heal. Most important, we have to heal first. And we've been broken so bad and we're still being broken and we don't even see it. you know we're not in physical slavery no more, even though over 2 million of us are in physical slavery, but most of us are mentally. And see, once you control a man's mind, you control everything. This is why you have so many people that are cultists with this administration and this president. Because he has their mind. This is how they think. This is what they feel. America's not going through things because of blacks or Hispanic or immigrant. No, it's going this way because the majority of the country voted for white supremacy. And we got to keep it real. This is what I'm saying. Just like this platform, you got to be 1,000% real. You have to tell the truth 100%, or you're not going to heal. So with life, you have to be able to tell the truth. And if it's the truth and it hurts people, then so be it. You know, they must check themselves. It's not you. But right here, we're going to go back. Like I tell you, once you get through the wall of adversity, and you start to go through all the what every last thing that you wrote on there. you know it could be I'm afraid of the dark, but you have to go through your what's, when's, where's, what made you afraid, what happened that you're afraid, when did this occur, where did it happen, why did it happen, how did it happen, who did you know. I mean, so this is just, I'm giving you examples of the things that you're going to have to go through to get through this process so you can heal. But I guarantee you, if you go through it, you're going to be fantastic. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell you, man, 28 years federal prison, been rich, been betrayed, been crossed out, and still have a positive attitude. Been to the Had to go to a halfway house, a shelter, got my own place, then get shot 9 times. And I'm still positive because then after that, bam, through adversity come change, a book. And now we have a podcast on all platforms. You see what I'm saying? We got the whole kit and caboodle right here. Look, you see? We got the mic, everything. This, the joint there, down there, you know. It's just I have to build. I have over 5,000, almost had 7,000, or I had 7,000 followers on Facebook because I used to do it every day when I was in the shelter, in the halfway house, and I did lives every day all over the city once I got to New York. But now I must reinvent myself and build a whole new platform from YouTube on all the platforms that I'm on now. But we're gonna go here with knowledge. Write down exactly what happened, not the story I told myself, but the facts. This is where being 100% real, true to yourself, that you're gonna be able once you're able to break all of the bull and get rid of all, you're gonna be fantastic. What did I learn from the past adversities that I couldn't have learned any other way? It's like I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Me, um, if I would have never been to prison, nowhere would I be like this. You know, I wouldn't have known who God is. I wouldn't be. My character would probably be still flawed. If I wouldn't have never went to prison. So, being honest, excuse me, being honest with myself, knowing that, man, actually, it was a blessing for me because every time that God put me back in prison is when I was doing too much. I would have been, I was killing myself. Yeah, Facebook is on the lives. It's already on there. And then I'll be doing the little clips afterwards, and I put it on TikTok and YouTube over, and so it's on Facebook. I seen it. I seen it today on the Facebook Shorts. I seen it on there. I seen a few of my shorts on there. So like when you going through Facebook and all of them, okay, yeah, good. But yeah, back to what I was saying. If I wouldn't have went to prison, I wouldn't be where I'm at. You know. Yes. Oh no, I haven't gone live on. I only do it through here, but I could do it with my other phone or computer. Is that what you're saying? Let me know. But yeah, like I said, if I wouldn't have, and a lot of people, if you're being honest with yourself, a lot of people was rescued instead of rescued. Even though I was rich, every I don't know. You gotta. That's why you gotta come over and show me how we gotta do that. Cause I want to be able. I know it's probably a way that we can put a background on it, um, and make it to where they can come in and speak too. So we just gotta figure it out. It's the beginning. So inshallah, somewhere down the line we can figure it out. But when you're honest with yourself, when you're 100% honest with yourself, like I thank God, man, for every time He put me away. I was sleeping with the enemy. You know, I was looking out for people who really didn't care about me. You know, and so much other things that I could say, So it was a blessing when I retrospect and look back, like when, God sent me back on a violation when I was living with my uncle, and on in Brooklyn. Everything happens for a reason. And see, I don't cry over spilt milk. I clean it up and get some more, you know. Of course, to me it's just wasted energy when you complain. Like, I'm not a complainer. I'm a problem solver. Whatever there's a problem, I'm trying to solve it. And this was this I. Hey homie, I can share your stream in a kick community to help you hit 2,000 followers, 1,000 viewers, and also earn 1,500 stream. Add me on your Discord, Candy11. How do I do that? Tell me how to do that. I guess that's it. Yeah. All right. I would have truly appreciate that, my brother. Because I got something to tell somebody. I definitely got something to tell them. Let me see. I don't know how to do that, bro. You're gonna have to tell me what I need to do. Of course, I will definitely do that, and I'll give you a bust down. Um, but the name of this platform is TAC. Through Adversity Comes Change by me. It's on Amazon. You can cop it. Um, it's a pathway. Yeah, it could be, but I mean, I'm not giving up nothing. You know, if that's the truth, then Allah is Akbar. God gonna take care of me no matter what. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I got you, Scotty. I got you. I got you. But yeah, once you come to the realization that, like, man, wherever, like I tell you, second principle, wherever you at in life, that's God put you there because He's driving the car. Always remember that, and He don't make no mistakes. So you must come to the realization of the things that you're going through when you're going through them. Like I said, that was like blessings for me. Even though, like I said, I was in a very good financial place in my life, but it ain't about the money. Like I said, you can't take nothing with you. So you have to be able to let go all that pride, envy, jealousy, all that stuff. And a lot of that stuff I've never had because I've always been the one to try to help everyone or the one who was helping everyone. And also, right, after I said that you ain't gonna learn unless you go through these adversities, right? You got to ask yourself, where did I betray myself? Where did and how did I survive? You know, it's a lot of different things that you have to ask yourself when you're going through these things. But as long as you face them, you're 100% real with yourself, man. It's gonna be all right. Wisdom is knowledge applied. Once you've gone through knowledge and you've gone through all the emotions and everything, you're going to see that, man, like I tell you, a lot of stuff was just in here. And that's another reason why I said a lot of stuff that we shouldn't let our children see. Like when I was growing up, it was only certain things that our parents would let us see. We had to sneak in them. Now it's like you can see everything on this right here. You can everything. So it's no restraints like it used to be when we was kids. um, what is the present moment asking me to stop doing? And then see, these are the things that you have to ask yourself. What it is, you know, life is trying to show me. What is it trying to show me what not to do? What am I doing that's wrong? And you got to ask yourself, what is it asking you to start? You know, stop being afraid. Start facing. And you put the two to your that fits in your life. You know, if I had 1 year left to live, what would matter most to bake through today? And like these are things that, when you being honest with yourself, like I say, I'm at peace because I was able to forgive everyone who've wronged me. But most importantly, I was able to forgive me. And I no longer point fingers. Now I do them like this. Everything starts and ends with me because no one controls, you know, what you say, feel, and think unless you're afraid. And you're not supposed to be afraid of nobody but God because you're not going to die until He sends an angel of death, you know. And these are the things that I realized because, like I tell you, I was bullied as a kid, you know, and even as an adult, a lot of times I was one that wouldn't want to hurt people because they owe me money. I let them go because 9 out of 10 times they mess ups. In 6 to 9 months, they're gonna be twisted, and I'm gonna be still doing my thing, and I'm gonna be all right because I take care of business the way it's supposed to be taken care of. This is how I was able to go to prison and leave my family straight. Even though I was a hell of an addict. you know so we have to make it in our minds, right, that we want to do the right thing. We have to make in our minds that we want to make change. you know like I told you, over 10 years ago I reinvented myself and changed my mindset after saying, as a youngster, man, I'm gonna die as a hustler. No, it's no fun no more. The money, and then the money isn't even, it brings all kinds of other schisms and isms to you. So, you know like I tell people, I no longer feel good with doing wrong. Wrong doesn't feel good to me no more. You see? And when you get to that place, that's when you know you've made changes in your life. Because like I tell people, I used to spend $1,000 a day on scratch tickets. Now I live off $1,000 a month, and I'm content. And I live real good, you know, with money to spare, because this is how God works in my life. I don't know how He works in your life. I can't tell you how He works in you, but how He works in my life, He takes great care of me after going through all the things I've gone through. It's a blessing, and I know where my strength comes from, the Most High. And this is why I tell you guys, you got to find your connection with Him. You can't let nobody else tell you. You have to study for yourself. Like my mother used to always say, prayer without works is dead. You got to put the work in. This is what it's about. It's about putting the work in. And life will pay off. Understanding, seeing the patterns across past and present to predict the future rightly. Meaning, being 100% honest with yourself about all the things that is going on in your life, and you come to a certain place in your life where you say, yo, this, that, that. But it's you admitting your shortcomings, your faults, your fears, your adversities, but you're not doing it to be like, woe is me. You're not a victim. You're looking at them to understand why life is, and how it shaped and molded you to who you are today. you know like I tell you, if I wouldn't have went to jail, I wouldn't have no master's degree in business. I wouldn't have created 30 apps advice of business concepts. I wouldn't have this mindset. I would have still been doing what I was doing. And then I had a restaurant. at this last time, I probably had 3 or 4 restaurants still, hustling, and so God has a way of looking out for you when He loves you. To the ones that God loved the most, that's the ones He put through the most. And I've been through hell, but it's okay, because I know He got me, and as long as I stay on this path and give Him His, I can't lose. That's most important. As long as I stay on the right path, He gonna take great care of me. It's like I tell my brothers, man, you got to make your prayers. And a lot of time, some brothers don't get it, but it's because you made a contract with God. This is the minimalist things I'm going to do because I made a pact with you. And when you do that, man, God blesses you so much. And this is what it's all about, giving Him His so He can give you yours. And just know that you can't get attached to this world because this world is passing, fancy, smoke and mirrors. It's living right till you can get to the next life. And like I said earlier, no matter what nobody else do, you gotta always live right, no matter what nobody else say, feel, and think. You have to ask yourself, if I continue my current habits, where will I be in 3 years? And see, you gotta put retrospection in your life. You know, look back, think, but you can't let the past dictate your future. That's why it's called the past. You have to look at it. You have to build boundaries because a lot of people will overstep their boundaries with you if you let them. But the ones who have love for you, they'll never do that. They're gonna respect your boundaries. And then see this way, you know what you want and you know what you don't want. And you're not gonna put yourself in a position with things that you know you don't want. You're gonna see it and you're gonna sidestep it. Like I don't even do a lot of things that I could do because I don't feel comfortable with being fake. I don't know how to. So I stay away from things that are not conducive to my growth, you know, and that's just how life is. Somebody else just came in, and the name of this platform is called Tact Through Adversity Come Change. This is a journey that I've taken. Like I tell everyone, 28 years federal prison, uh, been rich a few times, a couple times, lost businesses, houses, been shot 9 times, and then after that, I wrote a book. Now I got this podcast. So it's about being progressive. No matter how many times you fall, just keep getting up. You can't lose. Just keep putting one foot in front of another, and it'll work its way out. Trust me. Here I sit now, able to bring you a podcast. And then another thing I want you to be able to ask yourself, if I break through this wall, what becomes possible? Name 3 specific things. And what I mean by that is you just coming in. This call attack through adversity come changes 5 principles, 3 articles, 1 healer. The healer's helping everyone accept, achieve, and appreciate love. What this is about is me giving back. After taking so much as a youngster, selling drugs on a major level in Harlem and Brooklyn and in different states. I feel that it's my duty to give back, and help as much as I possibly can, because God spared me. Like I said, when He sent me to prison, man, it was when I was hurting myself, you know, and I had money, but it ain't about the money, you see. So it's being able to be real with yourself. A lot of people can't do that. And I thank God that I was able to, because some people get it early, some people get it late, some people never get it. I got it late. Took me 50 something years to get it, but I thank God that I got it. And like Dick Gregory used to say, when the universe gives you those glasses and you put them on, you see the world for what it is. You see people for who they are. You can't sell them. You can't give them away. People have to earn their own, but you see life for what it really is. And you don't participate in things that you know that's not conducive to your growth. The the integration, what wins, where's, what's again, how and who. They messed it up. This is forensic honesty hour. Use a notebook. What exactly happened in each key adversity? Write in a third person like a report. Where did I actually succeed, even in small ways that I've dismissed? This isn't toxic positivity. It's evidence you're stronger than you think. Where and what? The second what's different angle. Where was I emotionally? These are just different things you must answer yourself. You ask yourself, where was I emotionally, physically, relationally? Where did I hide? What did I lose? What did I gain? What did I avoid? What did I assume? How did I contribute to the problem? Hardest question. Answer with compassion, but no excuses. How did I contribute to the problem? What did I do to put myself in that position to have something traumatic like that done to me? Or where was I? Who was it? All different. See, this is why I tell you, be emotionally, uh, you're going to be emotional because it's going to challenge all kinds of your thinking. It's going to challenge all kinds of thinking. And then once you really see life for what it is, you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna say, "Man, I made a mountain out of molehill." And it's really not that deep. And this is another reason why I say a lot of stuff that we shouldn't let our children see or hear. Back when I was a kid, it was, you know, children are supposed to be seen, not heard. And there was a reason. Now children are in conversations with grown folks, elders, when they're not supposed to. We have to go back to the old ways that worked. Respect, and then a lot of this is because there's no men in the house. And it's funny, right? Uh when I came home, right? I wound up going back to my family because I grew up without my father. So I wanted to grow up with my kids, not one to cheat. I'm home every night, all that. But when things are not supposed to be, I don't care how much you do, it is what it is. And see, you can't be mad at these are see, good people give you blessings. Bad people give you lessons. And then other people give you insight on life of how life really is and how people really are. And you just have to pay attention. Like I said in one of my other videos about letting your conscience be your guide. Like I tell people, it's been you've been in a situation where you're supposed to make a right, but you make a left, and you wind up uh in a bad situation because you didn't follow your mind. Say what now? Candy's 11 is you, right? Yeah. So, There's so much to healing. There's so much that we must do to heal, but it's really not that difficult. It's letting your conscience be a guide, paying attention, doing the right thing by yourself and others, no matter what no one else does, and facing them fears and learning how to deal with them. A lot of this it takes a lot of mental fortitude, and you just have to use your head for more than a hat rack, and be able to look at the forest for the trees. How did I cope? Some may save you, some now harm you. Who was there? Who wasn't? Who did I need to forgive? Who do I need to forgive? Who do I need to forgive myself for becoming? All of these things play a part in it. And you have to face these things. There's so many different angles that you have to go through to let it out. And inshallah, we'll be able to uh, explore these things once you put this in your life. Okay. Who can I tell one true thing about this wall by tomorrow? Accountability steps. This is another thing. If you have people that you trust like that, who can you tell? And are they going to judge you, or they going to be open minded? And this is what you got to say. Write a sentence of declaration when you get to this part. Not now, because you're not going to be there. Write a a sentence declaration starting with, because I broke through the wall of adversity today. Then say aloud, I am on the road of change, past, present, future, knowledge, wisdom, understanding. All of it serves me now. You see what I'm saying? You have to be able to really look at yourself and life for what it truly is. I'm gonna read chapter 18, the renewal becoming the light. The breath after the storm, after rebuilding, there's a quiet clarity. The noise that used to haunt you is gone, not because life got easier, but because your spirit got steadier. Renewal isn't recovery, it's resurrection. Behold, I make all things new. Revelations 21:5. You start to see the beauty in places that once only held memory. The pain becomes part of art. Every sunrise feels like proof that you weren't spared. You were chosen to start again. The process of becoming. And when you're becoming, right, it's after you go through the things that you go through so you can really see life for what it really is. Renewal doesn't happen in one moment of grace. It's daily, like prayer, like breathing. You stop chasing happiness and start cultivating peace. Like I tell you, I'm at peace, and that's because I was able to forgive myself, because there's no instructions to this life. And the beautiful thing about it, when you're able to forgive yourself, man, life just gets so much more easier, because you're going to do all the things that you need to do to please God. Once you get there, you understand. And he it is who has produced for you hearing and visions and hearts, little all grateful. Quran 23:78. So many things that we should be grateful for that we take for granted. And if we just take a little time and give him his, he's going to give us so much. You begin to protect your energy like it's sacred currency. You spend it on people who water, not drain. Quiet after the beginning. Rebirth doesn't arrive with thunder. It's a whisper, the kind that tells you you're already crossed over. No ceremony, no audience, just breath meeting purpose in the same space for the first time. Verily, truly, I tell you, no one can see the kingdom of God unless they are born again. John 3:3. And what that means is it's not getting dipped in the water. It means it's changing your way of life, living right, going through your adversities and making a change. That's why this is through adversity come change. Everyone has adversities. Your adversities are different from mine. Mine are different from yours, but we all have them. And they shape and mold us to who God wants us to be if we pay attention. You stop trying to prove your change. You start living like someone who already has. The new you doesn't need validation. Peace is enough. And like I tell you, I'm at peace, so I could care less how anyone else says, feels, and thinks. Like, I love my children, but my wife turned my children against me. Her and my brothers. But it's okay, you know, because all I ever did was try to do the right thing. You know, they may feel that of course, I went to prison, I abandoned them, and part of that's true. But I went to prison for trying to feed my family the best way I knew how. And they had the best of everything. That's one thing they cannot say. But I get it, you know. Truly get it. You no longer search for meaning, you embody it. Every step becomes sacred because you finally understand you were never walking alone. Man, once you have that understanding and see when you have the knowledge that God is there with you, man, life is so much easier, man. Because there's only so much he's going to let happen to you. The birth of legacy. Rebirth creates responsibility. When you've made it through the fire, your job is to light torches for others. Like I tell you, excuse me, once you go through this process and you get to understanding before you get to heal, you're going to be able to help others. Like I said, light the torch. You're going to be able to show them, why what we go through in our head is not what life really is. And you're going to help them to help others. And this was this process about. Each one teach one, each one help one. And before you know it, man, we can help the world. It's up to us, you know. And this is the things that I want to do. I just want to help people, man. I've done enough wrong. It's time to do right. I know I'm not going to live 62 more years. So, excuse me, I must, figure it out. Legacy isn't the fame, it's about fruit. Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify God. Matthew 5:16. Your story becomes seed planted. Your story becomes seeds planted, watered with consistency and grace. and watch how many gardens grow from what you tried to bury. And see, this is why tack is so important, right? Because it takes a village, and this is the thing that we've walked away from. Excuse me. I was watching a thing on Facebook. Well, a guy married a girl, well, a lady. She had a teenage son, and the son was doing all kinds of things. So every time he went to chastise the son, don't you chastise my son. His father don't chastise. Blah, blah. So after about 3 or 4 times, that she caught him chastising him, and she's like, "Don't." He packed his bag. So she was like, "Where you going?" He said, "I'm out. I can't do it no more." And your son, he just got caught with a pistol. He's in jail. We have to stop sparing the rod and spoiling our children. We have to give them tough love so they can understand. They don't even know who God is. They wouldn't know if God was to walk on earth, you know, and tell them that it's God. They wouldn't know. They'd be probably trying to slide on them, you know. So we have it's our job. You know, we dropped the ball. I'm part of the people who fumble. You know, I feel, you know, and I feel it's my job to bring people back to the right frame of mind and perspective. And only we can do this. The people who've been through it. I just want us to win. Like I said, my job is to give y'all whatever I can that's going to help you heal, you know. And it's only through adversity change takes place. And I'm the one of the best people to understand that because I've been through hell, but I've made it out. And I never cried at one bit. And I keep it pushing, you know, and I keep doing the right thing no matter what. And God continues to bless me. And this is what it's about. Doing the right thing no matter what, knowing that God is watching. And it just feels better. You know, living right feels better to me, you know. And I was never a slimy dude, so it's even better for me. But like I said, it's through adversity comes change. I want us all to win. We're gonna do the perspective of heal tomorrow, and so forth and so on every night. You know, so we gonna get it cracking. So my thing is, like, subscribe. You know, hit me up, hit my DM, and let's get together. You know, let's do some things. You know, let's show the world that we can come together and make some things happen. All right, Tack Man out. Peace. Have a blessed one. I gotta make my prayers. Your prayers in, Scotty.